Okay, let me share my screen back. I'm sorry, I'm a moment, please. Okay. All right. Okay, so sorry, can you, I remember your first question perfectly, but yes, okay. So you were asking about for teachers to see the course live. Okay, so I was saying that I was saying that teachers can't communicate live with students via their pages feature, but they can leave comments for teachers. They can leave comments and teachers can, and once teachers see those comments, or students can ask questions. Then when teachers see the question, teachers can also respond back to the questions. Or if you want it to be live, then you can then decide to integrate a live. You can integrate a live, uh, a teacher-led one, just like a Zoom or Google Meet. So Canvas integrates easily with Zoom. So you can decide to add that, but it doesn't allow for live as you asked about. But that was what I wanted to touch now. The other feature now. Okay, Mrs. Obi, we are sorry about that. It was a technical error that ended the meeting. We're really sorry about that, ma'am. All right. So Zoom doesn't, Canvas doesn't allow you to for live for teachers to have a live session, but you can embed a Zoom meeting in a calendar or also via pages for students to join into the teacher-led. Then also you can, so this is the announcement and the discussion features I wanted to touch on. So that is the one that allows interaction between teachers and students. Okay, and here we
Okay. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me, Mr. Tony?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, like in early years, most of our activities is learning by doing. So when the children are doing it, you have to supervise it. You have to make sure they are doing the right thing. So if it is something that is not interactive and you have to pass through Zoom, and if Zoom is not working at that particular time, then how is the learning of the day going to be like?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you come again, sir? Sorry, sir.
I said, like in early years, the way the children are learning is called learning by doing. There are some activities that you teacher have to be there and supervise it, make sure the children do it and do it right. So you are saying somebody has to, there is a possibility for the person to supervise it through Zoom. What of if you are using Akada Plus and Zoom in the other side is not working? How can the teacher supervise the work without Zoom? Is it
You can
possible?
Yes, you can use discussion feature for that. Then also most of the features also have they have what is it called? They have feedback. So for assignments, there's a feedback part when if the students is done, then the teacher can give feedback. Then also discussions and also assignments. So for each one, so if Zoom is not working and the teacher needs to go ahead, so for supervision, so I take your supervision as a mid feedback. So and also interaction. So they can also have interactions via the discussion. So this is a discussion feature, then also via announcements. Did I
What
answer your
discussion? Early years children, some of them are learning to read. What form of discussion are you talking about?
Okay.
Is it text message discussion or what? What type of discussion are you make reference to?
Yeah, yes, it's text. But also, okay, so for that, another thing that Canvas allows you to do, just like we saw before that videos can be embedded. So a pre-recorded video can be done. The teacher can pre-record a video. Maybe there are issues with Zoom. So the teachers can pre-record the video and can, excuse me, can pre-record the video, then can put in the video to the lessons. So there the students can view the video. So that is something that can be done about that. I understand what you are saying, that discussion is for older years.
Yeah, that can work with other classes, but for early years, this mean of communication, that a discussion can't work, one. And some of the activities need live supervision. You have to be there and then supervise the work when the work is going on. Or when you just put the video for them and the parents are not there, some of the children, they have some nannies that are not computer literate. So for them to put the children through just using the video, I don't think it will be easy for the kids. I don't think so.
Oh. So I didn't get your last question, sir.
No, I'm not asking you a question. I'm showing my concern because the way you explain, you say that we can make use of what do you call discussion to
Yeah.
communicate with the little children. With primary years, this can work because they know how to read. But when you are dealing with early years, more especially a 2 years child, a 3 years child, and a 4 years child that they are just learning how to read, uh, this mean of communication, I am sure it can't work with them. Uh, that's one. And two, you talk about recording videos and as guidelines for the children to watch the video and then go ahead and do the activity they are supposed to do. If as the activities have to be done when the parents are there, at least the parents can watch the video and guide them. But this is the period where the parents have started their work. So the children are at home with nannies that most of them even don't know how to write and how to read. Understand? So for them to listen what's happening on the video and then guide the children, I think it will not be easy. But rather, it can be easy if you have a live communication with the children through the video, like video live, the way you and I are speaking now through the Zoom platform. It can be helpful for the children to achieve what they have to achieve in a day. But talking about recording video and sending it to them, let them use the other means. I think it can work with the little ones. But for primary years, I do agree with you. This can work. But for early years, I don't think so.
Can I come in a bit, please?
Yes,
so
go ahead,
yes, sir. Your observations are correct. Definitely in a Zoom interaction like this, the children are, or as a teacher, you're able to interact well with the children. For the younger children, for the nursery children, there has to be some level of supervision. They cannot be totally unsupervised, with learning. However, we can offer a blended learning approach where you can do a Zoom session on a daily basis, and then later on you can still send videos as a way to introduce maybe new topics, and then you can still communicate. You can still use the class or still in your dashboard display information that you're trying to teach those children, but there has to definitely be some level of supervision with an adult, for the nursery children. We're not totally oblivious to that. We're very much aware of that.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir. Okay, so lastly, so this is the experience from the teacher. This is the announcement feature, and here teachers can decide to send in announcements. So this is an announcement that have been created. Submit sample quiz latest by Monday. Then please read your novel. Then so these are the different announcements. Then this is the students page. So for here, interaction, the students can decide to reply to it. Okay. Then this is a topic. Then replies are only visible to those who are posted earlier. So yes, students can choose to reply to it. It's still loading. Okay. So from the teacher end also, I'll be showing discussions. And I talked about graded discussion. So graded discussion can substitute for classes when you are just like during a class, a class in session, a physical class in session. Then you ask your students questions. Then maybe when you're asking them questions, for each questions you're allocating marks for them. So maybe just briefly, just as an example, I just walking into a class. I'm not conducting a text, but I'm asking the question that, okay, who is the president of Nigeria? Then maybe you want to make that 1 mark. You want that to add to their continuous assessment, but you don't want it to be a paper type on them. Someone replies with El-Rufai, so you grade him as 0. Then the person that replies with Muhammadu Buhari, you grade them as 1. So this is what graded discussions talk about. So it's currently loading. Sorry, I have slow network connection. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, but if there are questions from the beginning to now, you can ask your questions now.
Mr. Fisayo, you're in charge of academics. I want to hear questions coming from you. Mr. Fisayo, are you there? Sorry?
I am clear with the explanation so far, and some of the questions I would have asked.
No, it's not about whether you're clear with the explanations. It's the applicability within our setting. So I need you to ask whatever questions you have regarding the applicability within our settings, not when they leave now. You will say, oh, this can't happen, that can't happen. You need to, just the same way Mr. Constance is sharing, he's asking questions regarding the early years and his own area. You've got an overview of the academics, the way we set questions, the requirements and the assessments. I need you to ask. I haven't heard any question from you throughout this demo, and that's quite worrying.
Like I did mention, the question that I would have asked Mr. Constance and I think Ms. Obi have been asked at this session.
Mr. Tony.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, Mr. Tony.
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
I wonder, when we talked about the discussion section, is it not equivalent to a chat? Like the chat that happens when you're teaching a child with the Zoom?
Yes. Yes, but you cannot make it graded. Just like I thought, like it can substitute for questions you ask during classes that you grade.
All right.
Yes, so it's more robust than chats.
All right, Mr. Tony.
Yes, sir.
Remember you mentioned earlier about the capacity. You talked about 500 MB. So what if in the middle of the term I exhaust my 500 MB? Then what happened to the rest of my data?
Okay. Well, just like Mr. Victor said, that because it's the same. It's the same. What do I want to say? It's the same file storage size that everyone has. Then so most things what people do, just like Mr. Victor said, for bigger files, for files that are more than 20 MB, you can create a link. So you can create a link that is so you can use Google Drive. You can use, okay, there's Amazon S3 bucket. So so there are different file storage that you can use for pictures or videos that are of large sizes. Then you can now embed the link in Canvas. So with that, you can still manage the file size that Canvas is offering.
Please, you know that my classwork has to be on Acada Plus so that the children and scheduled so that the children can see when they have exam or they have tests or homework to do. But if I put in the other side, how will they know the calendar, all this to have access to the classwork? Because it has to be inside the Acada Plus so that they can know when and how to take it.
It's in.
I don't mean the videos that can be linked. No, I don't mean the videos that can be linked. I mean part of the contents are the classworks, the homeworks, and even some of the assessments. So it has to be inside your own server or what, so that the children can access it in the proper time that can be assigned to them.
It's
using the calendar, of course.
Okay, what I'm saying is it's in Acada Plus, just that the file is being stored somewhere else. So the link is being embedded. So like just like the Zoom page I was showing before, it's in Acada Plus, but just like we know that the Zoom meeting is happening somewhere else. But for the students to see that link to that Zoom meeting, they have to log into Acada Plus. They have to build that page for them to see it. So that's the same thing with the images and videos. So they are engaging with it on Acada Plus. Just like for them now to see more, they click on the link. So then the link directs them to where the image is stored. Then when they are done with the link, any discussion or any other further engagements they want to have about the course contents they just engaged with, then they will have it in Acada Plus. Most of the thing is still happening in Acada Plus, just that it's being stored somewhere else.
Okay. Because why I'm more concerned that, you know, my learning takes place in your own. Why I'm more concerned is that you ask me to put it elsewhere and link it to your own platform. What if the server in the other platform is not working then?
No. Like servers like I talked about Amazon. So there's Amazon S3. Then there's also Google Drive. So
why if it is with you, I can hold you. Okay, but if it is not.
Like okay, like we talked about Amazon. So I've never, or even Google, I've never heard Google server went down. So these are trusted cloud providers that their service never go. So the server never goes down. So you can be trusted that the server will always be up for that.
Do you remember? Google crashed? Do you remember when Google? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Yes, because we are talking based on experience. We have seen experience. There are some days that Zoom refused to work throughout the day. There are some days that Google crashed. You understand? But when it is in your own server, then you have to provide solution, because we are already, you know, into your hand, and we expect that you to secure us during the working periods. So if it is in the other server and then it doesn't work, then it means I will have a problem.
Okay, but
Tony, let me come in here real quickly. You know, when I spoke earlier, I talked about infrastructure. On a day like this, for example, it's raining in Abuja. With this meeting now, it's been a bit unstable. We're going to have issues like that as far as whether or not Zoom worked or Zoom did not work. Sometimes it's even user error per se. To say that we're going to host the Zoom meetings or the video meetings might be it's a lot of storage and all of that. So right now, I guess maybe we can look at it in the future, but for right now, what I would recommend is that you do, say for example, you have a Zoom account and then you can also use Google Meet. It integrates with the system, so you can always just go back and forth. Somewhat similar to what schools were doing during the last term, when, you know, when, for example, if your MTN did not work, you would use your Airtel or something like that. So at this point in time, we don't have that strong infrastructure. If everywhere in Nigeria had like a fiber connection, then it would be, you know, really easy for most things to work. So we still recognize that the infrastructure is not where we want it to be. And the truth about it is just that we as educators, we just have to buckle in and just know how to be flexible. For my children's school, what they would do when things didn't work, they would just say, you know what, everybody dial back in an hour, or everybody dial back in 30 minutes. So sometimes you might just have to do that and just be flexible rather than, you know, be under pressure to handle a class right then and there. So that's what my feedback would be.
Okay, thank you very much. Back to that is all what I am more concerned is about the capacity that is small. All this my question goes back to the same thing. If it can be added a little bit so that we can have more space to have more work conserved or saved in your own server. That's all. That's the conclusion of all my questions.
Okay, so Mr. Tony, let's make a note of that so we can review that and get back to Mr.
Okay.
Constance.
Okay.
How do you say your name, sir?
Yeah.
How do you say your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Constant.
Mr. Constant. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, Ms. Nia.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very critical you look into that, because for us to provide, I mean, for the platform to provide just 500 MB, and I think it's inadequate.
No, I don't think, can I come in here, please? I think that expecting, I don't know what 500 MB would be in regular terms, but I do agree that a platform cannot really be holding videos because it will just weigh it down. Because what we do is video dependent, I think the embedding of the link with maybe some sort of icon. I think I've spoken to Victor about this before, so we'll have to look at that. I think our biggest challenge is that 75% of our school is in early years. So at the moment, that becomes our greatest community, that we have to be sure that whatever we are, you know, getting into will serve that community quickly and serve them well. I can see from the demo, it does seem to me to be more directed at older children, but we've got to see if there are workarounds that will be practical and that will serve the larger community that we have. What I can ask for, and I don't know if this is possible, if you can give us, I mean, I'm assuming that this LMS is in the cloud at the moment, right?
Yes, it's in the cloud, ma'am.
Okay. Is it possible to give us one user access just so that we can try this, all these permutations? We've got a YouTube channel, and what I would like to try in terms of this whole video issue is to see whether these videos stored in our YouTube channel, so the class link will just then link into that channel and show the video there, and how seamless it will be. I think for us, the biggest concern is how seamless, which is the problem we've had from the last session. The fact that a lot of these kids don't have adequate domestic support. And so we are under threat from parents to say, look, if we're online this term and you don't have something that can happen seamlessly without much support, then our children are not coming on. So at this point, that is my biggest concern. How do we design or modify whatever system we have to be able to satisfy this situation? So that's why you're having a lot of questions from the early years, because they are the larger members of the community. So if we can have some access, and then we can look at it, and even if we have to, I don't know, commission something independent of what you give to the general public, maybe we can consider that. I don't know if that's possible.
Yes, it's very possible. So I can, we can create a demo course for you.
Yeah.
Then we can invite you in to the course.
If you can give us a demo access for one teacher, and then let's use a phantom teacher and a phantom class and just walk through the whole system. Because basically, if it works for our early years, then we're happy. Because obviously, if it works for early years, then of course it will work for primary years. What our concern is whether it's going to help us deliver better better user experience to the early years.
All right, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I will create a demo course. Then for the course, I will invite. I think I have your email address, so I will invite you, Mr. Fisayo, to the course, and also Mrs. Oge to the course. Then we also share a cheat sheet with you on.
When you say demo course, I want that is the teacher. Does that give the teacher access to create what they will do?
Yes, it does. I'm just saying a demo course because it's more like a sample course that you are using to try out things. That's why I call it a demo course. The course we have all functionalities also.
Okay, so not a sample teacher, but a sample course.
Yes.
All right.
Hello, sorry.
Yes, please go on.
Okay, sorry, my name is Oluwatobi. I'm sorry, I just joined. Yeah, I just want to add one or two things to what Mr. Attorney has said, has shown so far. And just to respond to what you said. Now, the system actually can be used for all classes. One of our recommendations, especially for the lower classes, is that the content has to be something that will make it fun. The system allows to reinforce learning. It allows you to embed games that can appeal to students of that age, so that while they are learning, they're having fun, and that makes them understand even better. And for the video aspect too, yes, it allows you to give a link from YouTube, for instance, or attach video files. It allows virtually all sorts of file formats, including videos. But in addition to that, you can record the video on YouTube, for instance. Video that can appeal to students as well, again, and they can watch live on the system. So that way we are doing less of text, and we're doing we're using some more things that will engage the student and make them learn and want to learn even more. So the system can actually work for them. Like in addition to, then additionally, from what Mr. Tony also said, the demo class will allow the teacher to do virtually everything. So the demo teacher, like you said, is just a sample teacher, and they can do virtually everything that you do by the time, hopefully, you come on board. Thank you. I don't know if that is before.
Okay, and we just talked is Mr. Toby. So Mr. Toby is a Canvas product owner and also a client success specialist from Lagos, the technical person from Lagos. So thank you, Mr. Toby.
Right.
So I don't know if there are any other questions, ma'am.
Yeah, I was saying that it's very critical we look at the capacity issue, not just for video alone. The reason why I'm saying this is that in that early years section, when they want to create their quizzes and assignments and all that, they'd have to for it to be child friendly, then it has to contain lots of images and all that. And then, you know, these images, some of them, I mean, if you want to get quality ones, their sizes are actually 100 KB and all that. So if you are using the platform for the entire session, and you are expected to be creating these assignments and quizzes on consistent basis, you exhaust 500. However, you want to manage manage it. I'm not talking about link, and I'm not talking about videos this time. I'm only talking about creating quizzes and assignments. For them to be child friendly, they are dependent on adding images and all that. So that's why I said initially that it's very critical that we look at this storage capacity issue. Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so
All right.
we'll look
Yes,
into
we'll look into it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's it.
Okay, so all right, so thank you everyone. Then I'll be handing over to Mrs. Sia.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a sample class which we'll use to experience the system again. We'll also look into the capacity issue. I understand what you're saying as far as inserting images for the early years students, and so making sure that that is not restricted by the 100 or 500 MB capacity. So we'll look into that also. Apart from that, I think those are the two action items, except I've missed any. Can I just confirm real quickly? Okay, so can we just identify for the sample classes who, which teacher is going to handle the sample class? That way we can go ahead and set up the class and invite the teacher to maneuver.
Okay, I mean, what we're probably going to do is to that is one class name. So just, you know, if you invite me, I will have Mr. Constant work.
I'm struggling to hear you, ma'am.
Yeah, you were breaking up, ma'am. Were you saying that we should set up the class for Mr. Constant?
Yes, I set up the class with Mr. Constant, and then the rest of us will work through that same class just to get a feel of what it is. Yeah. Okay.
What should be the title of the class? The name of the class?
I mean, just call it demo class, isn't it? Is it? Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It doesn't have to be a specific subject. It's just to get a look and feel. Or maybe Strauss demo or something like that, just to make it clear that that's our work area.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that right away.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. So we'll get back to you. We'll set up the class and we'll get back to you with the action items as soon as possible. Mrs. Obi, I'll get back to you also, please. And
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Have a good morning, everyone.
We appreciate the effort. All right, then. Bye.
All right, bye. Thank you.